opening up. We are just checking all systems for our live. If you are able to see me, hear me, please go ahead and share in the chat that you can see me and hear me. That would be very helpful as I'm just tweaking and pushing some buttons here. We have a jam-packed session ahead. All right, let me connect over here on our Facebook business page. If you are just tuning in now on today's live because of Game of Life business, maybe you just learned about the challenge. Welcome. We appreciate to have you here with us. We will be putting below on the link how to see the replays. We have a couple of places where you can watch the replays, whether it is in the membership course under the university section in your agency view of High Level, or if it's in our Facebook groups on the pinned on the top of each group, or on our YouTube channel, or on any Instagram. So there's a couple places you could see this. If you're watching this after it's being live, go ahead and type in the chat #replay. Let us know what that you're watching it on a replay, but also share along the way as you're watching it in your answers to the questions I'm asking. We find that there are many questions that come up after the live that folks will go ahead and share, and then we use that information to tweak our program and get clarification out and about to everybody. So by now, if we have a few folks joining in, if you can hear me, see me, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are located in the world. We have now expanded on our international footprint. So we have folks from all over that use High Level to impact their communities, their businesses, and so on and so forth. So we're very, very happy to always see new faces, new countries, new villages, new regions jumping on. So thank you for joining us here. Just got to do a few more quick checks before we get this rolling. So I am asking questions and asking for your feedback on the Facebook business page. So facebook.com/high-level-reviews is the page. If you want to jump on the Facebook business page live, we can have a somewhat of a two-way conversation, right? So I'll ask questions, you respond back on that Facebook business page live. That'll be very helpful. If you're on YouTube, Instagram, or any other platform and that's easier, that's fine as well. But today is a great day because we've taken days 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 today is bringing everything to ascension and retention. So I want you to imagine you're going through this challenge, no matter what your experience is, and you've started to put together the offer, understanding the positioning of the offer. You started to set up your platform with setup day on day 2. You then got into sales and prospecting. No matter your experience, you started understanding some sales and prospecting best practices on how to position the software, your approach, and the benefits that we're going to be offering to local businesses. And then yesterday we started doing fulfillment, which was pretty much, I got a new customer. How do I give them a demo? How do I set the expectations? How do I get them up and running? Where do I go for reporting? And now today with day 5 is ascension and retention. And what we're looking to do with all of this is to give you the framework to customize your way of doing business now. We know that if you have the fundamentals of how to position, how to sell, how to use the platform, you're going to spend time to use it every day, right? 15 minutes a day gets you a lot better than yesterday, right? And then as you put more time and you partner up with others with their superpowers. Maybe they're good at sales, so they help you with sales, and you're good with fulfillment, you do fulfillment, vice versa. You're going to start to learn that things start picking up a little bit better because you're leveraging your superpowers and someone else's. You might find that you're using this for your own business, or you've been in an industry for a long time, and now you want to take your intellectual properties, knowledge, formats, styles, and serve others throughout the country that are in your industry because you have a proven framework. So you could also use high level. You could also use the AI challenge as a gateway offer and then customize those different needs of your customers in your industry and ascend into core offers and expansion offers as you go. So I share all this because it's so important to recap, right? We're in this challenge because we want to learn something new, but we want to see a result. And we know that the result isn't going to happen right away, depending on our schedule and our experience. But we know that if we stay consistent in the challenge, we will see results. Whether they're small, medium, or large, the journey will pay its time off. Now, results will vary. They always vary because everyone is using different functions, different features, different experiences. So I want you to look at high level as your operating system. It is your operating system. And the different features within high level are your apps, right? So you have an Apple phone as your operating system, and then you have your apps. You have an Android phone as your operating system, you have your apps. So you get to determine what apps you want to turn on and off for your potential beta or customers. And as you are turning them on and off, you'll start to see how the pricing in your market will be different because of the demand. And then you'll start to customize those offerings. So if you've been with me for the last couple of days, thank you, appreciate it. Go ahead in the chat and share with me some feedback or some nuggets that you took away from our time together so far. We want to give the folks that are jumping in here for the first time because of just everything going on, let them know what they might have missed out on so it fuels the fire to get back, replay some of these items, get in the course, get in the Facebook group, and really make a measurable impact in their belief to help other businesses, right? So go ahead and share that in the group. And also, when you're doing that, go ahead and share where you're live from. Where you're live from. You can include city, state. You can include the state, the country, whatever you feel most comfortable. Let me know where you're live from, because making relationships locally is also always great, as well as making relationships internationally. Everyone that I've come across in this high level community is all about learning, growth, and networking. And you'll start to see that yourself as you join our groups and you join our workshops and you join these other small groups that are happening that are not always going live in Zoom rooms, in Google Meets, locally in person. What's unique about our community at high level is that we're all on the same team because we're all serving businesses that we have relationships with, from referrals, from direct friendships, and they're gonna stick with you. They're not with the software for high level. They're there because of you and your experience and your intellectual property, intellectual framework strategies, the uniqueness of what you bring to the market. So if you've been rocking and rolling here and you're ready to take on this challenge beyond today, maybe your challenge starts today. Maybe your real action items start today because you're more of an analytical person that requires to watch everything, go through everything, take copious notes, and now you are ready to take action. Kudos to you. Give yourself a round of applause. Maybe you're another type of person where you've been at it little by little, and maybe you haven't been receiving the result you expect because you're piecing things together. I want you to give yourself a fresh start. Give yourself a fresh start, because nothing is ever done on the first attempt. It takes time. So if you've been having some trouble, maybe you closed the computer screen, maybe you said, I don't got time for this, give it another chance. Give yourself a refresh approach, because Monday is around the corner, or tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday is around the corner. Don't make it about the day, make it about the mindset. And you'll learn this as you bring on clients. You'll learn this as you make other friends. Getting past the limiting belief of what you could do or what's possible is the first step of being successful in sales, marketing, or being a service provider in this space. And the legend will tell you, the experienced will tell you, and those that are just getting into it will tell you, you are your number one enemy or you are your number one fan. It's mindset and action taking that's going to get you where you want to go. So let's get to business, right? We owe it to ourselves to get to business, and that's going to be jumping into day 5. So I'm going to share my screen here, move a couple things around, and we're going to get into retention and ascension, right? We want to bring on our new beta clients, our new paid clients, right? That came on board because of you and me, right? The software is just a byproduct of what we're going to do for them. And because they came on for you and me, they're going to expect us to stay in touch with them. So you have to, I want you to imagine this. If you bring me on as your client, I expect you to, 1, take my calls, 2, send me a welcome email, 3, let me know what I bought, why I bought it, and how it's going to get set up, 4, check in on me, and 5, which is one of the most important ones, let me understand that you have my business in your best interest and you see more potential for me. You see more potential for me as you talk to me. You get to know me. You get to know my business. You get to know my plan, my strategy. I want to be fueled by your future, big picture. We can do more when the time is right approach. And you're going to find yourself that in this retention and ascension stage of doing business with your new customers, that it's not about just the product. They're not just buying something off the shelf and that's it. They're buying what the belief is that you're going to help them from get to point A, in between, all the way to the end to point B. And that you are the expert, you know what you're doing, and you're going to guide them. So please take it as a compliment if your customers are texting you random times. Make it as a compliment if they're calling you random times with questions. Take it as a compliment if they're frustrated a little bit. Take it as a compliment if they want to talk to you or they want more FaceTime with you, because they finally found someone that cares for their business, their vision, and now is going to help them bring their dreams to where they need to be. So take those all as compliments. If you understand where I'm coming from with that approach, that mindset approach, right? Do me a favor and type in the chat compliments. Type in the chat compliments so I know that we're on the same page here, because everybody's at a little bit of a different level when it comes to mindset, strategy, implementation, positioning, thought process. And it's important that we remember that we're working with human beings. We might put a robot, right, in their business, but we are still working with human beings, right? So we're going to get into today's agenda here, and it's going to touch around KPIs. We spoke about that briefly through some examples, but I'm going to do a little bit of a role play example just to paint a better picture of maybe what a KPI conversation may look like. Now, there is no one-way set way to do this, but the goal is to be informational, enthusiastic, future thinking, and also coaching, right? Showing them that we could be doing a little bit more, and here's how we'll go about that, right? Then we're going to talk about Ascension. Ascension, pretty much meaning is expanding on what they have now. They sign up with our gateway offer. It's become the core offer because now they're paying monthly, right? It's like a utility bill, right? We've built that value. And now they want to add more based on their new goals, expanded goals, or vision that is now happening much more faster because you're in the picture. So think about this. I sign you up now, and you maybe have been thinking about very little techie stuff. You're not a techie. And then I say to you, hey, Tom, Is there any reason why you're not doing, conversational AI? Is there anything reason why you're not, using email marketing or, posting on social media? And you might say to me, John, it's not my thing. And I'll go something like, I completely understand. We've all been there. There's still many that are in that same um, position as you, and that's fine. But that's exactly why I'm here. That's exactly why I asked. This is exactly why we're on this journey together. So here's the good news, Tom. I'm completely prepared to lead the way through our journey, right? On this adventure, I'm prepared to lead the way. But I do need you to tap on my shoulder every once in a while and let me know what your opinion is, what you're looking to do, or maybe some ideas that you have that you've seen others in your area implement or you've experienced as a lead or whatever. Like you just see someone else doing it, right? So feel free to let me know, right? And now with that setting of the tone and the agenda, they're like, okay, cool, perfect. That's the goal. And that's how you start opening the door to Ascension, right? If you expect your beta or your new customer to just say, hey, here's my Discover card. I want to get some points. Go ahead and charge me, a couple $1,000 for some new stuff. What do you got? Give me some new stuff. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen if you haven't guided them, trained them, and coached them on what the market demands from their business based on what others are doing in their industry, right? Now you may go to a supermarket or, an electronic store or a sports store and say, hey, well, I'm here. I'll pick this up. I'll pick that up and I'll grab that too. But in software, it's a lot different, right? Because it's not tangible all the time. I mean, you have an app, but it's not the fun stuff, especially if you're new at it. And then as we start bringing on customers with our gateway offer, transitioning into our core offer. They're ascending with our expansion offer. We still have to retain them. And retention can get very fancy and very in-depth from an analytical, but also a little bit much from a planning perspective, right? You can put a lot of bricks on your shoulder with retention and a lot of stress, especially as you get more and more customers. You might think about your customers in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh, what if they cancel? Or, oh my goodness, I forgot to do this. What if they get upset? So with retention, the real secret sauce to it is having a plan and a roadmap. You have to have a roadmap for your customers. And typically the roadmap is developed during the onboarding call, the check-in call, and from the day-to-day or every other day or weekly conversations that you have. Go ahead and type in the chat roadmap if you understand that concept. It's us having a two-way conversation, whether it's text, email, phone, Zoom meeting. I'm learning about what your business is doing. I'm learning about what you want to do. You're learning my platform. We're working together. And now we need to have a roadmap of where we're going to go on week 2, week 3, week 4. I want you to look at this relationship to be like an 8-week partnership of getting to know each other well, because in this industry, customers sometimes expect to not hear from you after they give you their credit card. Sometimes they expect to not hear from you a week later. And it may be on purpose, right? You just don't click with them, but you gave them a service. You might have, just been busy with other clients, right? You're setting up your business depending on where you're at. And they don't understand that, but they assume that, I'm not going to hear from them again. And then I'm going to cancel this in a month. If this doesn't work in a month, I'm going to cancel. That's what a lot of new customers keep in their mind when they bring on some sort of subscription. Let me try this out for a month. Let me try this out for a month. Let me let them prove themselves. Let me let them prove themselves. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance. These are things you're going to hear, and you should not feel insulted by it. The problem that you're solving is that they've already experienced some sort of marketing that didn't go as planned. So they're assuming if they have a little bit of a negative mindset in the start, that you may be going the same route and they're hoping that you're not, right? So have a positive mindset. Call the elephant out in the room based on what they might be thinking. Look, I know that you might feel a little overwhelmed with this based on what you shared with me. I've put together a roadmap. This roadmap is going to give us a guide of where we need to go and how fast. And if we need to change anything, we can change it. It's a living and breathing document. It's available in your platform or in our shared Google Drive, however you want to share it. And we're going to meet weekly for the next 8 weeks. And as we evolve, you're also going to have a chance to join, our different other meetings that we have in small groups, or we do recordings, or we do training sessions. You have to look at it from there, right? Sometimes they say build as you go. Yes, you can build as you go, but you have to have a format to build within, right? So let's talk about the one format that we have to build within, which is our key performance indicators, right? Our key performance indicators is the heartbeat of the platform, the AI reception platform that you're giving, right? So if there aren't new contacts coming in, if there aren't new conversations coming in, if there aren't new appointments or sales questions coming in, well, then something is not working as expected and planned. And there's a couple of ways to troubleshoot this. One, you want to make sure that you've set up the settings to automatically respond to questions that come in. You want to make sure within your settings of the AI chat that you have a compelling message that pops up, right? So you can customize what your messaging looks like when it pops up. And you want to make sure that you test it yourself and have your customer test it as well. So that way they understand what should be expected. And while doing so, they might say, oh, look, this is off. We need to change that. That is a part of making sure that our system is up and running to get new contacts, new conversations, new appointments. Now, there's ways to position each one. So I'll go a little bit into each one here so you have some context around it. So new contacts. If I were to tell you as my new customer, we're on our week 1 phone call, I'm going to highlight these kinds of things. Stephanie, it is exciting that week 1 has been going great for you. And I've been enjoying talking with you the last couple of days. It looks like you're getting a lot of new folks coming in through your website, as well as through your social media that are asking questions. Now, I remember you shared you would have this type of traffic before, but what's different right now is that you're getting that two-way conversation where before you had to manually two-thumb it or have the laptop out. So what I'm seeing on my end is that we have an average of 50 new contacts a day. Small percentage is spam or just sales people trying to sell you something. That's always, common. But the remaining are a combination of existing patients that normally would wait a couple of hours to respond, and then new patients that are actually booking appointments for callback requests. So when we put that appointment for the callback request, now, we're noticing that more people are booking for that callback around their schedule. How's that been going for you? Right? So I give a little bit of context. I build a little of excitement in my tonality. We're sharing some positivity that's going on within the platform. And now I'm asking for her feedback. Because at the end of the day, Stephanie's perception is the reality. Stephanie's perception is the reality. Although I may have the facts, the details, the numbers, I know what's working, I know what's possible, her perception is reality. So I want to just understand where she's coming from, what she thinks. And she may respond, yeah, John, but I just don't see a difference. Okay, that's fine. That's why we do these calls. So help me understand what would be a few differences you would like to see as we jump into week 2. She may say, well, I'd really like to see more people book appointments around my new complimentary offer that I have. Okay. In the back of your mind, you're like, well, this is my first time hearing this. So, just keep that in the back of your mind. Take the notes, jot it down, and you say, well, could you tell me a little bit more about that? Right? And then in the back of your mind, you should be saying to yourself, okay, this is a new complimentary offer. It's in addition to the callback request. I need to make a new calendar and then include that calendar in my AI reception Google Doc, and then put some context with questions so that way that calendar is chosen, right? So I want you to look at this example as the big picture strategy, and then you can take that big picture strategy that you mapped out and then go technical. If you go big picture strategy and go technical while you're thinking of it, it's going to be a lot to consume. So you have to put the plan and then you follow the plan, or put the idea, then you start chipping away at the action items, right? So now as we do that, now we've reset the expectations. We said, okay, I know exactly what we need to do. I'm going to set up a calendar for this new offer. I'm going to have you confirm a few things, and we're going to go live with that. What that does is lets her know that you're listening, you understand her business, you care about her business, and now we're able to have better KPIs in addition to the good ones that we're having now. But we're able to have better results because now that's what we're grading it off of, what her perception was, right? So go ahead and type in the chat, perception is reality. Perception is reality. Because you can have the best format set up. If the customer doesn't believe it's the best, we're not going to win that battle. Okay. So as we're doing this, we're using this weekly checkpoint to do 3 things. 1, let the customer know that we care, we're in tuned, we take their business serious. 2, we're building rapport, we're building strategy, we're building relationship. And 3, we're pivoting, we're adding on, we're making action changes so the program performs to the expectation. Those are the 3 core things that we're doing when working with KPIs. And as you work with those KPIs, you're having those weekly calls or every other week calls, you start to get the brain of the client to see the value of what your white label operating system platform does, what high level does, however you position it. And this goes as well with those that are affiliates, right? This goes for anyone that's positioning high level. You don't need to be the one to actually do the work. Maybe you're just the sales strategist, you're the sales expert, and someone else is doing the fulfillment with you, for you, or by your side. You still got to both talk about KPIs and align it with the customer's expectations. And what that starts to do is get big picture fun thinking, right? Think about, like, let's say you're a runner, right? And you're a runner now, but before then, you were not a runner. Maybe you got shin splints quick. Maybe you could only do a mile and a half in, 22 minutes, and you started doing it in, 15 minutes, and now you're at 8 minutes. Let's say that, you wanted to run, a half, a 5 mile run, 5K run. Maybe you want to do a triathlon, right? We train, and it's all about believing, training, and having the right coaches or getting the right information, right? Feeding our brain with what we could do to get there safely and efficiently. So we want to be that path for our customers, whether they're spending $97, $297, $14.97. We want to be by their side. Relationships will supersede price and, believe it or not, performance. Price and performance will get pushed to the side if you have relationships. Because think about it. If you have a great relationship with someone that trusts you, yes, they can go somewhere else that's cheaper or more expensive. They could also go somewhere else that gets them better results or less results. But you are the glue between the two. You are the glue. Software doesn't sell itself. Widgets don't sell themselves. Nothing sells itself without some sort of connection, whether it's mental, emotional, or human. In this business, though, with a little bit of a higher ticket, 197, 597, 997, you need a little bit more human to keep it longer. Okay. So as we get into Ascension, I want you to think about the plan for Ascension, right? When a plane takes off, right, there's checks, there's balances, there's communications with the tower, right? It all accumulates before they take off, right? And you need some gasoline. So I need you to look at that as you're the plane, you're the pilot, but you have to do all these checks and balances and these conversations and understand what the client wants, understand what the key stakeholders in the business want, understand what the daily active users want, the receptionist, the dispatcher, the lead technician, the manager, right? Understanding all these components. And as you have these conversations as a group or one-off, you're going to hear from them saying, I really think we need a new website. I just know that this website is not where we need to be. And that could be from the service manager, right? And you go, well, help me understand, what do you feel like we're missing? What do you feel like we're missing? Well, like I need to have scheduling on there. I need people to be able to pay their bill. I need them to have like all the, feedback and what they need, before they reach out to us or before we come out for a service call. And this person knows that and feels that way because it's painful to their day to day. So as you have a bunch of exposure to new people within a business, you start to learn their day to day pain points. And that is where you start taking notes and you start to determine, when do I bring this up, whether it's on the weekly call, should I put this in an email, and start bringing these items up to your point of contact, your main point of contact, whether it's the business owner or the business owner's husband or wife, or the accountant, whoever it is in the business. You need to know who plays what role. And then it becomes, look, Joe had mentioned that he feels that our website could be a little bit better. He feels that the website could be a little bit better. I put together a roadmap, including the website. I've put together some examples of others in the area that he believes have better websites because of functionality and aesthetics. When you have a moment, I would love to walk through it, but feel free to take a look at it at your own time. Right? And now we're just getting this strategic coaching consultant, business advisor role going. Look at yourself as a business advisor, somebody that is trusted to help bring the business to the next level, right? If you are understanding that concept, it's resonating, or it's something new that you're going to keep open mind to, go ahead and type in business advisor in the chat. Business advisor. For the folks that are just jumping in the live here, welcome. We're talking about high level software, aka operating system for marketers, business owners to run their day-to-day business all in one. If you're learning about this for the first time, the link below, we have a 30-day free trial for you to jump in, experience it hands-on. And in that 30-day trial, you can jump in our next 5-day AI challenge that'll walk you through everything that we've gone over for the last 4 days, and you can now experience it yourself, right? So we have a lot of folks here that are understanding the concept of business advisor. Thank you. And if you don't understand that, go ahead and include what you don't understand about it, or maybe what roadblock you see, or maybe, what limited belief you may have with that whole strategy. Maybe you don't have business experience. Maybe you don't feel comfortable. Include that, because we could start creating some collaterals, some best practices, some ideas on how we can build that confidence. Because keep in mind this, confidence is a lack of knowledge and process. So we want to give you the knowledge and we want to give you the process to increase your confidence. And that's for your customers too. That's also for your customers, right? Awesome. So we're going to get a little bit into this. I'm going to do another short demo walking through an Ascension overview, right? And we'll throw some scenarios out there. If this is helpful, go ahead and throw in the chat helpful. Let me know that this is helpful. If there's something else you'd like to see when it comes to maybe upselling, upgrading, giving the customer the confidence that you are the right person they should partner with, you can throw a few sentences in the chat and we'll get to those as well, right? But we talked about websites and funnels. I want to talk about reputation management. Right? Thank you for the feedback, folks. I'm looking at our facebook.com/high-level reviews. Facebook.com, all one word, /high-level reviews. That's our business page. I'm able to see kind of everything here, on my phone, and just kind of get a vibe of what we got going on. This is all about you. We're not selling anything here. This is all about you, knowledge and process. Okay. So reputation management can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Go ahead and type in the chat, what does reputation management mean to you? What does reputation management mean to you? Right? And, reputation management, there's levels to it. There's definitely levels to it. There's different strategies to it. And there's different areas where reputation is graded. So, I look at reputation management like a report card, right? It's a report card for businesses. And it's a report card for businesses that can help their business grow very quickly, right? That business can thrive very quickly. I mean, think about this. You have a business, and that business gets 15 reviews by the end of the week, all positive, with photos, with, like now, these review platforms have like different things you could check off, like it's affordable, it was great, it was clean, it was this, it was that, right? And then you could now voice to text. The place was amazing. The servers were phenomenal. The food was great. What I loved most was this, that, and the other. I would come here over and over again. And now, reviews used to be like the star and maybe like a one-liner. Great, good, fun. Those reviews lose credibility the minute they're posted. To others that are looking at them. I mean, think about this. If you're going to be having, your 18th birthday, your 21st birthday, your 30th, your 40th, your 50th, anything with a th, right? 50th, 60th, 70th, 80th, 90th, no matter what, special event, communion, doesn't matter what it is. It's a special event. You want the food, the experience, everything to be amazing. And you see a bunch of reviews and they say, great, fun, would come back. 5-star, 5-star. You're like, all right, these are fake. That's what you're going to think in most cases. These are fake. But if you start seeing reviews with photos of the food, you start seeing paragraph or a couple sentences, you're like, oh, man, this place is really nice. This place is really nice. So I want you to look at reputation management as the report card for your customers to share their experience. So you have to make it easy for them. One is ease, making it easy for your customers. Two, you have to walk your customer through what is a great report card grade for you and notes. So think about this alternative. If I send you a review request and I just text it to you, right? Here's my review request, and I give you no context. You might put like, a review and, and that's it. Let's just say it's just a review number, 5 stars, and you move on. But if I send you a text message or an email that says, hey, Sharon, we really appreciate your loyalty to Bella Vitas. And we appreciate what that you visit us. Would you please help someone that doesn't know that we're around, help them understand why our food and our people is the reason why you visit us over and over and over, right? You walk them through what to say, and they will answer. It's just like this. I say, like, what does reputation management mean to you? If you ask, you shall receive. If you ask, you shall receive. So ask them to leave you a review and ask them to please include some of these things that would help others understand what makes them their favorite choice. Right? And that's where reputation management goes to the next level. Right? The great thing about our reputation management tool is that we could do text, email, we could post it on social media, we can repurpose it on the website, we can sync it on their listings, we can email, right? We make it very easy to leave reviews management. We could even set it up to auto respond to those reviews because we've embedded AI into the platform. The platform is fueled by AI, just does its thing. So think about that. As you learn these things, your Ascension strategy, the commentary around it is with so much more confidence and enthusiasm. And as you see here in these responses, folks have a little bit of a different way of describing reputation management. And that's exactly how customers perceive it too. It's a little different. So asking questions on, what do you believe is a great review for your business? What do you believe is the best way to go about collecting those reviews? And they may say, look, John, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to bother people. Or I don't like that. I would never leave a review if somebody texts me it. Right? So you'll need to do some education within the Ascension plan roadmap of you may not want to do this, Sharon, but majority people do expect this as a process because they're used to bigger brands and other companies guiding them and them responding to that action. So you'll go that flow and you'll learn this as you go. And we do workshops. So we'll do workshops around features. We do workshops around strategy. So there's a lot more that'll be in addition to this as you join our ecosystem or you get more involved as a high-level user. But this is just, high-level version, bird's eye view version of it. And just keep in mind, you're not the first person to offer reputation management. There are a handful of key players out there that offer this service at $297, $397, $1997, and thousands of dollars more. I won't mention any names, but they exist and they're out there. And now you can level out the playing field. Because most of those companies, they just do a sign and drive, right? They'll just, hey, give us your credit card and then, we'll talk to you in 30 days and that's it. You're bringing the hands-on approach, the roadmap, the plan, the human element, the relationship from a referral, the enthusiasm that you have. You're not a big box store. You're not a big box company. You're a small to medium-sized business in most cases, just like them, right? Just like your customer. So people take that serious. You have a lot of leverage to take, to use. Okay. Awesome. When it comes to social media planner, our social media planner has many different components within it. What used to be back in the day was like, I've seen the evolution. I feel lucky to see the evolution. But for those of you that are just getting into this arena and really, learning it and kind of picking up from like what's relevant now versus like going back into history, before with social media, it just used to be like you just post words, right? And then like Instagram came out where it was like a photo-based platform. So now we started posting more photos. And then the other platform said, hey, post photos here too. And then it became videos. So like you grab videos of maybe like where you're at, what you're doing, right? Who remembers the selfie stick when it first came out? Who remembers the selfie stick? Go ahead and type in selfie stick. Go ahead and type in selfie stick if you remember the selfie stick when it first came out, right? The selfie stick, there was a handful of people that like cringed when they saw it, like, oh my gosh, why does that person have a selfie stick in front of them? Or why does that person have a phone in front of them, right? Why are they so about themselves? Now, that's the new way of branding your business and other businesses is showing your face, showing your personality. So the customer and the market demand say, I just don't want to post regular words. I just don't want to post photos from Canva or photos from Google Images. I want to post videos. I want to post on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. I want to tell stories. And then some say I'm open to it, but I don't know how to. So your social media planner is really your toolbox that you get to kind of pick and choose where you want to go, push the buttons and the levers as needed for your customers' needs. But just know social media today is not just voice to text. People expect more from brands, from small to medium-sized businesses, from their service providers. As a software service provider, as a marketing services provider, you're expected to know and to help implement these things if they're going to pay you. So always keep your knives sharp, always keep your perspective open and fresh because things are always changing. You don't have to always change, but you have to be aware of the change and then have a roadmap and a plan to phase those changes based on the needs of your clients. Now, I just spent a good 20 minutes talking about 3 features. There's 500 plus more. 500 plus more features that people are using every day, enjoying, impacting the revenue of their clients. This is just 3, right? So we have the features, we have, the amazing platform, we have the amazing human beings that are coaching, helping, guiding clients. We got to talk about retention, right? We got to talk about retention because retention starts from the day someone commits to speaking with you, gives you money, and thereafter there. Because think about this, if think about how many text messages you may get or how many Facebook messages or Instagram or any messages at all, right? Or somebody that you're talking to on the phone and say, I'll call you back. And they don't call you back. They text you and then they don't text you back. You haven't aligned yourself with them in depth enough for them to stay engaged with you and to continue on with you. So yeah, you're not retaining that conversation. You're not retaining that conversation. You're not retaining that attention. You're not retaining that excitement. You're not retaining that future thinking or that how you fit into their day to day. So retention is in many ways everything to do with communication, expectations, and follow up, right? It's all in delivering what you say you're going to do and being the steward in implementing the communication throughout the way, right? So I've seen in my early experiences, I'd sign somebody up. I'm super excited. So you're my new customer. Sign you up, and you give me the money. Got it in my account. I'm happy dandy. I'm moving on to the next because I'm just trying to run a business. And a few days go by. I'm not reaching out to you. We're not as hyper and excited as we were before. Now you're like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. And then now I have to make up for that loss of time and get you re-excited again and retain your excitement and then retain your attention and then your trust. So retention has everything to do with attention, excitement, and trust. We lose a little bit every day, whether we want to or not. So you have to stay fresh. And there's some ways that you can keep good retention. So, obviously staying connected. I get it. Whether this is a side hustle right now or the main breadwinning, or this is a new add-on to your existing business, you have other priorities. Understandable. But if you put a roadmap together with day 1, email goes out, welcome email goes out. Day 2, text message goes out, making sure they got the email. Do you have any questions? Day 3 is a manual phone call from you, right? So you want to hit them hard the first 3 days, just like, hey, everything good? Everything good? Everything good? Okay, great. This is the roadmap. And then by day 3, you're starting to piece out the roadmap, and now you're reaching out to them based on the roadmap dates. So let's think about this. Our roadmap for the first 4 weeks is, at least 3 touch points a week, some way, shape, or form communication, depending on the type of industry or client that you have. And we're letting them know that next week is our appointment. So we're sending them an appointment reminder to join the call, right? So now we're setting expectations. And then we're showing them maybe a KPI report, or we're sharing some good news. And then when we meet, we're setting the next appointment before we get off the phone call. So whenever you have somebody, you should never leave the phone call without setting the next touch point. One of the little tricks I learned during my journey. JB, if you're going to meet with somebody, meet with them, give your all. But before you get off that phone, have a tentative, at the very least, or a solid follow-up date and next step. So now we speak today. I'm going to say, hey, look, we're going to catch up Friday. I know we meet Thursdays. We're going to do Friday, 2 p.m. We're going to look at your KPIs. We're going to make adjustments. And then we're going to review any notes or any questions you have. Before we get off that phone call, we're ready with our agenda for the next one. And I'm doing that with all my betas and all my paying clients. That is what's going to start retention. Because now you're able to not worry about, oh, did I make an appointment? Or randomly at 2 a.m, I got to make an appointment with this person. I forgot. Oh my gosh. So be ahead, be planning, be organized. Okay. And then during those appointments, you're giving value, right? So go ahead and type in the chat appointments, right? And when you type in appointments, it's because you understand that anyone I speak to, I'm setting up a tentative appointment at the very least for them to know that I'm going to call them and check up on them. I may text you anyway. I mean, you're not going to not hear from me, but I just want to know we have something on the books in case you get super busy, or in case I get backed up with a few things that I'm working on, because we're growing. Tom, the good news is that we're growing, and you're going to grow, and you're growing. So I got us on the books for Friday at 2. I'll text you. If you have any questions, text me. Your account manager is so-and-so, or this is how you reach out to us if there's an urgent matter. These are our business hours. But if you need something, you feel free to reach out to me. But I'm going to talk to you at 2 on Friday, and our agenda is to check the KPIs and then make any adjustments to what you believe we need to do and what I believe we need to do. Cool? Great. And we move on, right? And we're giving that value each time. So they're leaving the call with mindset shift, right? They may know more than you. They may be smarter than you. That's fine. But the mindset shift of positivity, forward thinking, and then strategic, or maybe a nugget on the platform that they didn't realize that it could do. Giving that value is important. Okay. If you follow that concept on giving value, there's different ways to give value. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to know where to find the information, repackage the information so it's custom to what they do within your platform and within your relationship, right? I'm always, whether it's a PDF, right? PDF, whether it's a sales script, right? Like, we're getting ideas, we're learning, like, we're learning the foundation, right? You get something from a chapter about foundation and you say, okay, I'm going to put together a little email around foundation, what true success is, what leveling up looks like, while you're doing these new changes in the business. People appreciate that, especially if they're paying you and they're trusting you with proprietary personal information about their business. Don't take that for granted. If they're giving you access to their database, their email, their credit card number, right? They're giving you trust. You need to value that trust and show value back. Okay? So go ahead and type in the chat value if you understand that concept, and that'll help me help you. And if you don't, or if you have something else you want to share with our group, go ahead and share that in the chat too. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed it by design. Maybe I missed it because I'm not thinking exactly how you are. That's the benefit of all of what we do at high level with our lives. We're so transparent. We're so out there that we want people to give their perception, their feedback, their best practice, right? And that's the value that your customers will expect from you, right? Last thing is coaching, right? And coaching could come in many different ways. So, I've had in the past, chiropractor clients, I've had in the past HVAC clients, I've had in the past, e-commerce clients. And I don't know every part of their business, but I do research of their business. I do research on how they do business. And then I do research on how their peers in their area do business, and then how the national leaders do business. So when you're working with a business, I need you to look at it, and you're going to have to do this to level up their mindset. I want you to be prepared to level up their mindset. And we look at business in three types. We look at it from a local way of doing business, from a regional way of doing business, and a national way of doing business, all of which have different ways of doing business. All of which have different ways of doing business, right? And as we get into a franchise model, that is also a totally different way on how they do business too. But what doesn't change is that all these businesses have some sort of roadmap if they're doing well. And they have some sort of plan and process, repeatable process nonetheless, right? The customer that you may have acquired may not be there. Maybe they don't have a process. Maybe it's not repeatable. Maybe it's not at its version 1 standard. You will need to be aware of what the advanced local, regional, and national are doing, because your client will expect you, if their perception is that you're the expert, and if their perception is that you know what you're doing, they're going to expect you to know the answers, and they're going to trust that you are pointing them in the right direction. So you need to stay in tune with their competition, as well as how their industry does business. And you could do so by joining webinars for different national associations, chapters. There are many amazing instructors that are out there that are teaching the industry within the industry. So I follow a handful, like they have their successful, HVAC business owner. They sold their business and now they're teaching HVAC, right? So I'm learning from him and her on how they're doing business. So not that I want to start an HVAC company, I just want to be aware of what experts are doing so I can help my client level up. That's why they're paying you. They want to level up. Help them level up by leveling yourself up. Okay? If you want to level up and help others level up while you're giving them an amazing experience using your white label version of high level or the straight up high level version, go ahead and type in level up. Level up. Y'all been great. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And your customers are going to appreciate you too. Because sometimes when you're doing stuff like this, you might feel like you're doing it for just yourself. It's not true. There's a handful of people that are on this live that are taking this course that have been customers of ours for 15 minutes, up to 15 months, up to since we opened these doors, right? And they consume, they learn, they share, they contribute, and they appreciate. And it's not overnight. So don't expect to do this overnight for your customers, but have a roadmap, have a plan, and continue to feed your brain on best practices, right? And ask questions. Definitely ask questions, okay? So let's get into retention for the first 2 weeks, right? Retention with our AI offer, right? Definitely we want to install it, right? We want to install it if we need help. We need practice installing it. We want to get that very well. We want to leverage speakwith.us/success. We want to leverage the Facebook group that all of you have 30 days access to for the challenge. And then you can join, if you haven't already, the high-level official community group. And you want to be able to be prepared on that implementation, right? So you want to have a solid check-in call, right, on the calendar using your the snapshot calendar link that we have, right? You want to do a manual check-in text. If you haven't activated your SMS within the platform, do not let that stop you. Use your personal phone. That's fine. And then you want to create some emails that have your personality and some touch points within it. So just imagine, and obviously write it down before you put the time into crafting the emails, but like where they're at. Like, so there's a welcome email, there's a thought of you email, there's what's ahead email, and then there's, maybe some emphasis. Maybe it requires you to do like a custom email every once in a while, or a custom text every once in a while, because it's very unique of what they're experiencing or what results they're seeing. But have the foundation set up. Okay. And as you do that, and we're going to walk through the retention here in a moment, but as you do that, you always want to also walk through the software as you go in that checkup, because, there's a couple ways to go about this, right? Them jumping on the Zoom may not always be something they could do. Maybe if it's a local client, you're stopping by their office with them, you have the laptop, you're side by side, and they're driving. They have to be the one to drive. If they're not driving with the mouse, they're not driving the car. And if they don't drive the car, they're not going to feel a connection to the car or the motorcycle or the moped, whatever, ATV. But they have to feel the energy. If you ever went on went on a horseback riding, or you went on, jet skis, or you went on ATVs or a motorcycle, yeah, you're going to get the feeling, right? If you're the passenger, but there's nothing like your hands and the control. You want them to control your white label software or high level, however you set it up, both options, right? So if you understand that concept, go ahead and type in the chat control. They have to have control and be the one to move the software from point A to point B and see the result of it. They have to be the one to do that. And until you enable them to do that, they will not be a true user of the software, right? They will not be a true user of the software until you let them drive and they see the benefit. Keep that in mind. Okay. Give me a quick second here. I just want to make sure we got this. Okay. So go ahead in the chat, right? Go ahead in the chat. Go in the chat here and facebook.com/high level reviews. Go ahead and throw in here what you would like to see within the software. What would you like to see within the software? Right? Because I want to be able to touch on some of those elements that the audience wants from the software. So go ahead and share with me, what would you like to see on the software walkthrough? Okay. We're going to get right into it and give everybody a few minutes here. Well, a few seconds, put it that way, to share what they would like to see in the software. Okay. Got a few areas here. All right. So I'm gonna walk through here just an overview, excluding some of the areas that we hit yesterday. I'm going to exclude those areas um, for time limitations that we have here, right? So, you know, let's just cover a few housekeeping items. One, whenever we take on a new client, right, we obviously want to get their gateway offer set up immediately, right? So what I'm doing on my end for my gateway offer, and you'll get quick and efficient with this as you do it over and over, is I'm going to go to my agency settings and just make sure that in my agency settings, my conversational AI from my main account is turned on, right? Is turned on. And it's going to cost 2 cents per message if that AI message is used for live chat. If you're using for SMS fees apply. If you're using it for email credits apply, whether it's through a lead connector, Mailgun, your SMTP, your hosting service, wherever you're using email, that will apply, or credits, or whatever the case may be, right? We're pretty used to that in the industry. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to get to that, right? So I'm going to go to my agency view. Okay. We're going to go to settings. We're going to click conversational AI. For my new friends here that have the 497 plan, if you have the 497 plan, you could enable SaaS mode, which will allow you to add rebilling. So if you want to, charge 4 cents per message, you could charge 4 cents, right? And there's a whole different mode with SaaS mode. So what I recommend you do, if you have the 497 plan, is type in SaaS mode in help.gohighlevel.com. Click on the SaaS mode full setup guide and FAQ, and this will be the roadmap of where to start. There's videos, there's a wealth of information. That's one thing, like our team behind the scenes that puts these guides together, they really go step by step, all in, because we know from a customer experience view, like the less that we have you calling or emailing or creating a ticket around something that people have questions about often, is the happier you are and the faster you can serve your clients and run your business, right? So definitely leverage the help.gohighlevel.com. I always like to look at the dates, right? Because some of the FAQs, they don't have changes. Some of them do, right? So just look at the dates. Like this one, the last one was from 2023. This one now is a new one that was updated in 2024, right? And this one was in May, right? This is just May 3rd, how to share snapshots. So there's a lot here. The dates matter, and you could print it up as needed. You make a binder for yourself, whatever the case may be, right? So we're going to go here, conversational AI. You can enable if you want to go that route, but this is the most important: enable, disable feature. It's enable, boom. So now we're going to go to our sub account, right? Because the sub account, we have a sub account, which is your marketing company name, right? So let's pretend my marketing company name is 5-Day AI Challenge. Yours is yours, this is mine, right? But then let's say we're going to go into another sub account for Jane's Car Wash. So we'll go down here, we'll type in Jane. Jane pops up. Let's pretend Jane is here. Jane's Car Wash. Now we're going into her sub account. So the setting has to be done individually for each sub account. Okay. As we go that route, let's jump into our settings page, right? When we go into our settings page, And you could have, as you get comfortable and confident with this, you can have your client jump in here. They drive, you tell them where to go, right? So, um, Tom, do me a favor, click on Conversation AI on the left. On the left, click on Conversation AI. Okay, great. Tom, we have three options. The option we want to pick for it to automatically respond to you is the autopilot. It says beta because it's always ever changing. It's always ever improving. So go ahead and pick the autopilot for beta. Okay. Tom, also, we're going to activate all these features because we've turned them on and we've connected all these options already, so we can use all of them. If you haven't, always just do the live chat. Just do the live chat. If you haven't connected SMS, you haven't connected socials, you haven't connected the email, just do the live chat. Okay. In this case, I'm going to put it back. Right. And the benefit of this is you can have the live chat for the website, the widget, chat widget for texting. So it'll take texting, the GBP, formerly known as GMB, Google Business Profile, Google My Business, either or, depending on, however you prefer, but GBP is the official name. That means that when you go to a business's website on Google, if they have a chat, they have the chat feature activated, which is a manual feature you have to turn on. This will talk to that feature and bring those messages from the Google Business Profile into high level. Yeah, you heard it right. This is going to take the Google Business Profile, which gets probably all the traffic, and then bring it right into high level, right? As long as you connect it. Same with SMS, Facebook, right? Think about it. They're doing ads. They have, posts, videos, Instagram as well, right? I want to touch on this because this is a little bit, not everybody is on the same page with the experience, but let me make my screen bigger here. I'm going to type in here. If I type in on Google, how to activate chat on Google Business Profile, well, you already see it. They got the AI rolling here. This will give you the instructions on how to log into the Google Business Profile, click Messages, click Menu, click Chat Settings, turn chat on. This is a quick win. And what I mean by quick win is that people are probably getting messages through Facebook, Instagram, and if this feature is not turned on, they're not getting messages from Google Business Profile. Think about it. If there's a way to send a message on a Google Business Profile with a question, you're going to do it. You may do it. If you have done that before, have you ever sent a Google Business Profile message? Have you ever gone to a Google Business Profile and clicked on the chat feature? If you have, share that. And if you have a short story to share about it, type it in as well. Think about this. You submit a chat through Google Business Profile with a question, you get an immediate answer. Holy smokes. Okay. Are you open? No, we're not open right now, but you can book an appointment between our work hours. Would you like to book an appointment? Yes. Oh my goodness, this is great. Fast, quick, efficient service. Yes, I'll book an appointment. Right? That's the power of Google Business Profile Chat. And the power is boosted with high-level integrated to streamline that in one area with AI. Powerful. Not a magic trick. You can do it too. Just got to know where to go and how to set up. You got to activate it. It's a manual activation. Okay. And then this came up as well on a couple of questions in the Facebook group and just in general. This might be, I think, at like 10 minutes standard, or 5 minutes standard. You want to put this between, 1 to 3 seconds. So that way it's quick responses, right? And the maximum messages is the most it'll go back and forth. So this will send only max 10 messages. 10, 15 is fair. Anything more than that, you may not have all the answers to their questions fully set up in the AI reception tool, or someone's just spamming you and trying to throw your bot offline or run run charges up for you. So between 10, 15, 20 max is my recommendation. Feel free otherwise, but just be conscious of the potential, right? And if you're active, keep in mind this here, this send bot to sleep means if I respond while the bot is on autopilot, the bot will stop responding for 2 hours. So I want to take this for like maybe, 5 minutes, because maybe I respond like a one-off. Maybe I respond for like a one-off, but I don't want it to stop responding thereafter because then the conversation goes cold. We want the conversation to be warm, right? Right now, your potential customers are having cold conversations. They send a message with enthusiasm. Customer says, hey, I'm excited. Congratulations on your grand opening. I want to come in and get my eyebrows done. I want to come in and get, my personal training sessions purchased, or I'm so happy you guys opened up a new location. And crickets, crickets, crickets. Sometimes crickets for days, months, never response. If you've experienced that from a brand where you send them a message and they never respond to you, go ahead and type in OOO, out of office. Go ahead and type in OOO, out of office, right? So you assume this business is closed. They're not open. I'm on to the next. You never want your potential customers to have their customers feeling that they're out of office. You have to always keep them, we're open for business. Although you can't come to our store at 2 a.m., we're still open for business to schedule you to come and do business with us during our business hours. How can we help? Oh, you have a question? We got you covered. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, right? And then as we go into that, we want to go into the bot trial. We want to practice, right? Ask it questions. Again, this is included. Right? Just gonna ask a couple questions. Let's see if we can try to break this thing. I want to try to break it. Right? We're throwing information on it. Well, right? Throw a little bit more caps. Let's yell at it a little bit. Right? So you're seeing those responses here pretty darn quick. I mean, this is fast. This is fast. Right? Hopefully you get the example. Go ahead and share some feedback on what you're seeing here. Go ahead and share some feedback. Right? So I'm going to scroll up here. I'm going to scroll up. What's the benefit of AI? Okay, this is a nice response. What is high level? All marketing sales platform designated. Okay, it's fair. I'll take that. How much is high level? Okay, so we don't have pricing, didn't understand pricing, but I do like that it offered to make an appointment. So I'll go green on that. I went general. What's the benefit of this all? High level saves money, reduces the need for multiple apps, integration. So remember, this is grabbing information from the website because I trained it by the website. So this is information that we feed it, right? Whether through our blogs, our services, so on and so forth. I like this response. I like it a lot. Can I speak with someone now? Yeah, let's book you and talk specifics. Okay. Got some times. I like that. I could only meet at 1:42 Eastern time. Can you tell me more? Okay. Fair. Okay. Is there an app? Right. So now it also got a little casual, right? I would not think this is, I mean, like, right. So it depends on who you chat with every day, right? Through text. If you chat with your kids, right, they have these little shortcuts, you know? Um, so it's different when you chat with kids. When you chat with adults on text messaging, maybe they go a little bit more, proper. Maybe they do a couple uppercase, lowercase, or all lowercase. But you get an idea that it's at least conversational. It's not corporate cheesy. It's very casual, and that's important. And you could also train it to be more casual. You could train it to be more casual, right? So I like this response. And we're training it right now. For those that are just jumping in, we're training in our AI bot within high level. What are 5 reasons I should use this? Use what? It used, like, based off of the conversation, it assumed that it was high level. So reason 1, streamline. Reason 2, automate. Reason 3, personalize. Reason 4, capture and nurture efficiently. Reason 5, boost client retention. How about we lock in a time? Here's the punchline. Here is the call to action. I love this one. I'm going to double click that, triple. I'm going to keep clicking it. I'm going to give you the 5 reasons of why you should use this, and then I'm going to ask you about locking in a time to chat more. How about that? That message can go out at 7 in the morning while I have my Z's, go out at 2 in the afternoon while I'm in a meeting, or 10 o'clock at night while I'm sleeping. Doesn't matter. This is going to do the work for me, right? If this insight is helpful, go ahead and throw in the chat, this is helpful. Go ahead and type in the chat, this is helpful, right? And if there's new, right? So now, because always information is changing, let's go here. If there's a new question to ask, so let's say, do you offer training on how to use high level? Yes, we have a variety ways to learn about high level. You can do so by visiting our blogs, our Spotlight Session podcast on YouTube, our 3-day live virtual workshops on all major social media platforms, as well as our live events on our calendar that's updated monthly. Would you like to set up a time to have one of our support professionals help you now with a specific request? Right? So we take that, successfully add it to the FAQ, right? I've also added all the website pages for Go High Level, right? So let's go to bot trial. Let's type in this question. Let's see what it says. Aha! How about that? How about that? And it didn't take it word for word. It made it conversational. So this works immediately. Snap your finger and it's up and running. It's what you train it, what you give it. You want to put regular fuel in your vehicle? Regular. You want to put diesel? Put diesel. You want to put premium? Put premium. But put what the vehicle requires. Put the gas type that the vehicle requires. If you want to go electric, Make sure you use the right electrical source, the right amount of voltage, the right amount of time. The instructions to make this work is in the bot training. You upload your website pages, you upload your Google Doc, and you get specific with the questions that your customers are potentially going to ask, and you feed it those questions and answers, and it will do its job. It will do its job. Do you find that example helpful? Do you find that example to kind of give you like a little bit more of a strategy, way to go about telling that story? Go ahead and share in your own words if that's been helpful for you. Okay. So now, I wanted to spend some time in the conversational AI demo because, obviously that's our main offer. That's our core offer, right? That's what they're getting here. And now let's compound on top of that. So great, we have your chat, your AI receptionist going. You're loving it. I'm loving it. We're feeding it all the information. Customers are happy. I'm thinking here, Jane, that we need to, on my roadmap, I have here listed. We gotta increase your reputation, right? And we gotta increase your reputation. So I want to just show you what my plan is for that. My plan is for that is for us to go into the reputation management section. We're gonna do the same thing like we did with the conversational AI. We're gonna set up auto responses so it responds to the reviews for you. We're gonna add Google and Facebook, right? Those are the two main ones that you're using now. So we want to feed in reviews from those sources. We're gonna wait because all the algorithms and the spam detectors, all those things, they play a part. So we're gonna wait for review responses. We're gonna wait about maybe 10 minutes. And let's just wait 10 minutes before we respond to the review. And then we want to have your footer. So this could be, thank you, Jane, owner, right? Or however you want that footer to be. So it'll take the response, do the response for you, and then it'll signature it for you. Look at this like a signature, email signature, auto signature, right? We're also gonna connect, we're gonna connect your Google pages here. We're gonna connect your Facebook pages here, and we're gonna also we could also put some other review links. The difference here is that it's not going to integrate. It's not going to integrate for live response, but it'll feed all those reviews in, and it'll give them the link to leave the review there. So like if you want to put your Trustpilot or your Yelp page or whatever page you want, like we can send this, but it won't integrate into high level. But at the very least, you want reviews there. We'll help you facilitate that. Okay. And the great thing about this is that out of role play mode, folks, here you can go here to reputation management in the high level support guide, and these folks are superheroes, right? I mean, and again, reputation management doesn't update all the time, right? But this will give you the core of everything we've put, like how to dispute a Google review, how to send review requests, the breaking down reputation overview dashboard. It's all here. It's all here. It's all detailed. This is your resource guide. This is your book. This is your manual. All here. Okay. So leverage this. Right. So this is important. And there's so much more. There's so much more. My recommendation is just, for the sake of time, go ahead and throw in the chat, what would you like to see demoed? Right? If I were to put a short video together with 3 features that your potential client or customer would probably ask about based on some of the research or your knowledge about the industry, what 3 features would you want demoed? Right? Throw that in the chat. If you're watching the replay, throw that in as well. And I'm going to do my very best to take that information and see how we can package some resources to complement what we're learning here together, right? Complement that. All right. And as we go here, there's a few important components that I feel like I must mention, right? And those are in the settings section, right? It's always important to have all the right information here, especially the time zone of your client. The time zone of your client is so important, not your time zone, your client's time zone. Okay. All that information here is important because all of it connects in some way, shape, or form. Look through the settings, hover over the eyes, become familiar with this. I know it can be overwhelming, but you'll see that we've gone in detail in certain areas that have certain compliances. There is TCPA compliance, right? This is outside of high level, right? This is for SMS, phone calls, TCPA compliance. We educate you on that. There is spam compliances, whether you're in the United States or Canada or elsewhere. There are rules, laws, and regulations. You need to be familiar with this because your customers may want to email blast 50,000 people that they purchased a list from and text blast, and you could be held responsible for allowing that on your platform. It can cause suspension, but also they're going to say, well, why didn't you tell me something? So you need to keep this stuff in mind as you evolve, which is why we stick with the gateway offer first. We stick with the gateway offer till you become an expert or close to it, and then you pick another feature to compound on it. But if you desire to fast track, you need to desire to be educated on these different features as well, especially with compliance and regulations. Okay. And we do a great job sharing that and helping you, right? Next thing here is company billing. You want to make sure that your customer has, their credit card on here, right? Don't add your credit card. Your client should have their credit card here, so that way the rebilling happens. There's different offers that pop up. There's different offers that pop up in the software. Like you can get Yext, you can get WordPress, you can get AI conversation assistance. You could pay extra for it. You can upgrade. You don't want your credit card to get charged. You want them to use their method of payment. So this is important. You want to make sure that you have their appropriate staff with the appropriate permissions. And again, this will happen through practice and understanding. The user info, fill in their user's information. Correct email, correct phone number, because here's what happens. Two-factor authentication goes through email, or it could also go through phone number. Password resets go through email, through phone number. Calendars go through that, and signatures, so on and so forth. Okay? Roles and permissions, what they can access, what they can't, is all here. This is important to discuss with your client. They may not know. It might be overwhelming. You need to give best practice. Throw in the chat, best practice. You need to be educated on the best practice to give the best service for the best experience. If you hope that they figure it out on their own, your hopes are not going to come to fruition. You have to give them the best practice. Call voicemail settings is important when you start activating your phone service. Notifications to the app, right? These things matter. Uploading a voicemail, user availability, right? When they should receive notifications, when they should not, when they should receive appointments, when they should not. Right? So this section is important. These three here are important. Very important, right? The next important section here is integrations. Integrations. If it's not integrated, it's not going to be connected to speak to for the desired result. So we talked about Google Business Profile. We need to integrate it. That is for conversational AI and other features, conversations in general, reputation, whatever you decide. Google Business Profile must be integrated. It needs to be integrated with the permissions, whether it's a manager or an owner permission. There needs to be the permission set up. You just can't integrate it by having their profile linked. they need to log in. Connect the locations, Instagram and Facebook. There's information on how to do that. If they're using QuickBooks and you want the information for charging, for payments, for invoices, for it to talk and update to each other, it needs to be connected. If they're an attorney and they're using Clio as their day-to-day operational software, you need to connect their Clio for attorney. If they're using Stripe or you're introducing them to Stripe, they need to log in and connect their Stripe so that way the payments work, the reporting works. All of these integrations have multiple ways of they communicating within different features of the platform. Go ahead and type in integrations if you understand the importance of taking the time within the first visit of setting this up of the customer connecting everything. They have a Shopify store. We're always adding new e-commerce features with attribution, notifications, products, carrying it over, selling, buying, all these great things. But you need to be synced in, integrated with Shopify. We need to access. High level needs permission to talk back and forth. TikTok. So like our company, our developers, our back-end relationship teams, they work super hard to get integrations with these platforms that we're not using third-party connectors. We're directly integrated. This didn't just happen overnight based on demand of our client base and relationships and trust that we build directly with these folks. So please don't take this lightly. It's not extra work. It's by design so that way your customer and you have the best experience. TikTok, LinkedIn. If you use Slack, throw Slack in the chat. If you use Slack, throw Slack in the chat. Okay. If you use Printful, this just came out. I think our partners are Chase, Ryan, and the rest of the team. They were talking about this. I remember watching their live briefly earlier with Printful. If you want to get swag, if you want t-shirts, hats, like giveaways, or your customers want hats, giveaways, you can now connect high level or your white label brand to Printful. How about that? If that doesn't excite you, I mean, everybody loves cool shirts and gear. Now you can use Printful, and there'll be more to come. There'll be more to come to connect and fulfill those orders and streamline it for your agency, for your new business, or for your, for your existing business or for your customers. This might be a loan while they sign up for you. Your AI and your AI receptionist and streamline my swag store. I'm so tired of using this one company because I'm not, they don't give me the best product. I've heard of Printful, but I don't know how to use it. Can I integrate it? Yes, you can integrate it. And then as we spoke about throughout the platform here, there are different areas. So every tab has like a top toolbar. So, like if I go here to contacts, it's got a top toolbar. If I go to opportunities, top toolbar. If I go to marketing, top toolbar. So, I know like the left is what we're used to, but this is the top toolbar. This is important, right? So there's so much more. If you agree that this has been helpful, exciting, fun, share with me, whether it's emojis, whether it's a one-liner. We're about to wrap up our time together, folks. We're about to wrap up our time together. It's been 5 intense throwing keyboard keys, ideas, thoughts, new ways of thinking at you. 5 intense days, 2 hours of just you committing, whether it's you looking at me eye to eye or your computer here, your tablet here, and you're multitasking while doing work. We were together to better and level you up. So you owe it to yourself for committing to this, and you owe it to your customers that you're going to be leveling up, or your new business owner friends, or your new potential relationships, your family, your friends, you owe it to them, but most importantly to yourself, to overcome your limiting belief that you can do this. We have folks with all different backgrounds, languages, ages, education levels, success stories that they share with us every day. We can't share them all because that'll be our whole news feed. The success stories on what high level does, what it's opened up, and we want you to feel the same way as well. So I want to grab a couple housekeeping items here so that way we're on the same page. We end off with a positive note, with a plan, and our plan is this. We're going to jump in that Facebook group a little bit more than what we've been doing now. We're going to engage. We're going to like each other's comments. Right? We're going to build each other's confidence up. Right? We got a lot of people that are just watching from the sidelines. Not a fan of it, but I've been there. They're watching from the sidelines. So let's engage. Let's comment. Let's like. Right? We're going to introduce ourselves. If you haven't already, throw a photo, a video, throw a logo in there. Right? Don't waste time figuring out how to play with everything. Don't waste the time. Whether it's someone in the high-level community, we have what's called certified high-level admins. You go to Go High Level, you can click on the certified admins tab. Those folks have gone through hours of training, a live proctor exam, and they are stamped with a live certified admin status, where it says that their certification is live. We have a commitment to our community. We have a commitment to them, and they have a commitment as well back to our community and to us. So look out if they're a certified admin. They pay a fee to be a part of it. Like, they've invested time, money, and effort and resources. Some people have companies around this just to serve folks like you, right? So we want to leverage those. We want to ignore those that jump into our inbox and try to charge us a crazy amount of money without spending time with us. If you're going to pay someone random, jump on a Zoom, right? Understand who they are, look up their reviews, ask them for some references. You don't have to go to a certified admin. We recommend it. But there's a lot of great people that aren't certified admins. Do your due diligence, right? Click on their profile, see where they're commenting, how involved are they in the community. And don't ever send money until you've done your due diligence, right? Or agreement, or just do your due diligence, right? But then also find somebody that's good at what you're not good at. So maybe it's somebody that is techie. They know Facebook ads, right? You challenge them, you learn enough to understand the concept, and then you say, well, tell me about this. Help me understand that. Show me how you would do this. Let's set up a beta. Let's build up on each other's relationship. And then maybe you're good at sales, right? Maybe it's 3 of you that partner up. I don't know. There's so many different scenarios. But don't go reading hours and consuming hours of how to do Facebook ads. Focus on the conversation AI, get that going, and then build upon it and make relationships, okay? Wait at least 1 to 2 weeks, preferably 2 weeks. Wait until you have at least 10 to 15 touch points before you say, hey, I got a new toy for you. You want to also try this? Wait at least a few touch points. You should have like a good, warm, fuzzy feeling about the relationship where you can text them at 8 o'clock at night, or they can text you at 8 o'clock at night. They're asking you questions. They're answering your messages. Build that rapport before you start pulling out all the magic tricks and all the shiny objects and all the fun things. Map out the roadmap. Understand where they're at, where they want to be. Bridge the gap in a solid conversation. And then position and place those meetings to have those types of conversations, right? Your 30-day trial that you signed up for will auto-renew, okay? So don't wait until the 28th day to say, hey, let me get into this. Get into it now. This is my call to action. Start now so you are getting results now. Leverage our Speak With Us, speakwith.us/success. These folks are amazing. They're amazing, amazing, amazing. 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday, they're at your availability. You might have to open up a support ticket Jump into our high-level community group if you have a question. Just exhaust your resources, but don't suffer in silence. Don't just let it be. Ask questions and look where to go. And remember that everything that you do within software sales, marketing, business development, just running a business. Running a business requires you to always feed your brain positivity, strategy, consume, take action. Without action, there's no reaction. If I never click the button, I'm not going to get to the next page. If I never go live, you'll never get my information. If I never ask, you'll never give. So take the action. My friends, you've been amazing. I appreciate you on behalf of all of my colleagues, our back-end team at High Level, everyone in between, our community members, from beginners to mid-level to advanced. It has been a pleasure and honor to be with you these last 5 days. We have great things ahead. Keep sharing your feedback. If you're watching the replay, give me your knowledge, share your questions, and I promise you there's more to come. If you haven't yet, go to gohighlevel.com, explore our website, explore our blogs, go to Go High Level YouTube page, look at our Spotlight Sessions podcast, go to our Facebook page, go to our Instagram, go wherever you consume information. But I promise you, every place has a little bit of different content, so it's not all the same. Have a great weekend. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.